What is going on, Sooner Nation? Welcome back, Sooner Surge Live, as we got our Friday night, day before the game, and a new update for the injury report, Jerm. That's probably going to be the hot topic, as announced today that Javonte Barnes did not make the trip to Columbia, so he is unavailable. He's out. Also announced today, Brady Cook confirmed out. So there you have it. Probably the best players on both sides of the ball. On offense for both teams. The only reason I say Cook is because he's a quarterback. I mean, Bird I think's better, but you know what I mean. Very important players, Jeremy. Very important players.
Here's what I would say, guys. I think the loss of Javonte Barnes is big in a couple of areas. To me, it's big in maybe pass protection, picking up blitzes, and ball security. Other than that, every other running back on this team can do what Javonte Barnes did. He did get tough yards. I think the injury of Brady Cook and the loss of him to me, is a bigger loss for them than Barnes is to OU. I don't want to downplay Barnes and kind of how good he's been, but Taylor Tatum averaged more yards per carry against Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying Barnes has been playing really well.
Throw the main game away.
Yeah, I'm just saying Barnes has been playing really well.
Tatum's a game time decision. Who said
that? I don't know if that's true or not. I think Ron's just being sarcastic. I haven't heard that.
Hunter, I know he had less carries. But fact of the matter is he averaged more yards per carry. Ball security and pass protection and picking up blitzes, that's where they'll lose. That's where they're really going to miss Barnes.
And we got caller on early tonight. Chester is on. I'm sure he's going to say pound mid-poo. Let's go, Chester. What's up?
Hey, when we lose to mid-poo, y'all want BV fired?
I'm not going down this road again, Chester. You know
my Okay. Here. I'm gonna try my best to give a little summarization of the 2024 Oklahoma football team.
All right, let's hear it.
In history, 2024 OU Sooners will be remembered as the Charmin soft tissue, Charmin soft booty players. How about that?
Are you saying that because of? Are you saying that?
Hey! I got a great idea. I think Jackson Arnold in pregame should go down to a soft tissue injury, because if he doesn't, he's going to get absolutely killed in the game if the two tackles he said the other night are going to be starting.
But Chester, their pass rate, like pressure rate, is not very good at Missouri.
Hey, this is Oklahoma, baby. This is the school that make backup opponent quarterbacks Heisman Trophy winners.
We'll find out on tomorrow. Here's what I'll say. Let me ask you this. I want to ask this in the chat too. Let me get Chester's answer. Would you give up losing Barnes for one game to get Burks and Farouk back, or would you rather have Barnes and not know Burks and Farouk?
I'd rather have Barnes.
Oh, I disagree.
No way.
Okay. Farouk's been out since the first play of the season, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So how much has he practiced? Maybe 3 times?
I don't know. They need a lot of help at receiver, though. That's why I think.
Oh, yeah, they do, because these receivers are trash, period.
Hey, but what happened
come on.
3 days ago? You said pound mid-poo.
Well, without Barnes, how are we going to pound him? Let's see. Is Tatum going to pound him?
Yeah,
Tatum's going to pound him and then fumble. And Sacha, well, he ain't even – I don't even think he exists anymore. Hicks doesn't get to play. Yeah, go ahead.
Take away the ridiculous game he had against Maine, because it was phenomenal. And Tatum averaged as many yards per carry as Barnes.
I think Tatum's going to be a great one. But if you can't hold the ball,
that's the question.
You might be gone like Abdul Adams.
Chester.
Abdul Adams runs a 99-yard TD run, then fumbles, and you don't ever see him again.
Who are you picking tomorrow, Chester?
Of course I'm picking OU.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Chester. Boomer. Let's go, Boomer, Chester.
Hey,
I don't care who's out there. You better pound them.
Hey, what about Xavier Robinson? I think he plays tomorrow.
That was garbage time.
And sooner
you can't blow up I know he looked like a tank, but you can't blow up a kid who played in garbage time, especially against an FCS opponent. Come on.
Then we can't talk about Barnes that much.
Yeah, but it was hold on a minute. I'm not promoting Barnes because he did great against Maine.
Outside of that game, I mean, he ran hard the other games, but he was only getting 3 or 4 yards a carry.
Hey,
They,
okay,
they were
4 yards
they
of
were
carry,
better.
right? Here, look, I'm not a genius. I was decent in math when I was in school, but that was a long time ago. But unless you get holding calls, which we always do, if you get 4 yards every run, you're going to get a first down.
I would love it. I would love it.
Yes. Hey, let's pound them tomorrow, Chester. Let's get them.
Let's pound
Yeah,
it.
I got to get ready. Y'all have fun.
Hey, have a good night, Chester. Thanks for the call. Hey,
And you're right.
Hey, Jeremy, real quick. When Clark says next man up at running back, Tatum Robinson, I agree. And I'm kind of, and nothing against Barnes. I mean, he's hurt. What can you do? He didn't make the trip. I'm kind of excited to see some other guys see what they can do. I think this is a game with Cook being out confirmed. This is a game OU's defense must come out there and dominate. Okay? The defense must dominate and hold them to 13 or less. That's my opinion. If they don't, it's bad. You got to do that. Go score 24, 20, win the game.
Hunter's saying that Barnes isn't just a one-game guy. Hunter, I want you to drop the stats for Javonte Barnes against Ole Miss and Taylor Tatum against Ole Miss. And the game before that was who? Who'd they play before that? South Carolina?
Here's my opinion.
Jay, don't interrupt me. Was it South Carolina?
Yeah,
drop the South Carolina stats in there too, Hunter. Let me just see those.
Here's what I will say, okay? Here's what I will say. Everybody, I know Tatum's had the dropsies on fumbles, but I just have a weird feeling if Tatum was the number one guy and getting a lot of carries, I think a lot of people would be saying, oh, he's by far the best back. He's unbelievable. He can take it to the house. I think if he gets a lot of carries tomorrow, I think he can definitely have a great game, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. He's a true freshman, so we'll see what happens. I'm not taking anything away from Barnes, but I will say this. They are way better. When I asked the question, Barnes or Burks and Farouk playing and Barnes out compared to Barnes playing and Burks and Farouk out, they need the receivers back, okay? Yes, Barnes is not there. It's going to hurt him, but not like it would not having the two receivers.
But, Jay, what I said to open up the show is it's going to hurt OU in the two things that Dalpo has said that I said. That's where it hurts OU more than just carrying the rock. And they got guys behind Barnes that can do exactly what Barnes did.
There's your thing right there. There's your stats.
16 for 67.
And then 9 for 42.
So Barnes had half the carries and only 20 yet less yards. Okay, against.
We don't need to break it down that much. It doesn't matter. Barnes isn't playing tomorrow, guys, so forget about it. I mean, C's up. Next man up. Get in there and play. Next man up.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm kind of tired of talking about injuries anyway. Just play ball. Go beat Midpoo, okay? And let's watch their fan base melt down on Twitter. That's what I want to happen. I want OU to go in there and dominate Midpoo, get the victory, and go watch their fan base just disintegrate on Twitter because they'll be so upset. By the way, you're right, Jackson. I don't know if you were at the game, but
Reagan Beers.
Jenny Baranchik, they got an awesome team. And Reagan Beers, unbelievable. It's the first time they've had a dominant big post player like that in a while. So
hit the like. Thanks for reminding him, Selene. Thanks for reminding him. What's up, Aaron?
Jen is right about that.
It does sound like Burks and Farouk are a go.
Yeah. Hey, we got a caller on the line. Looks like we got Will. Will the Thrill, what's up?
What's happening, man?
Hey.
How much?
I am wondering, the Sooner fans expected way too much this year, in my opinion. We had a first-year offensive coordinator, a first-year defensive coordinator, a first-year starting quarterback, and all new offensive linemen. I mean, why can't the Sooner fans grasp, but there's going to be a little bit of hardship in that? And and plus entering into the SEC, it's not like playing in the Big 12 and all that. We had all new offensive. So,
hey, Will, what I would say to that is, yeah, you can take it if you have a bad season and it's not as good, but what you can't take is the way they've played this year offensively. It's unacceptable to be dead last in offense. I know you have a lot of new coordinators. You got guys injured. You can't be dead last in offense.
Well, that was the thing with Seth Luttrell. I mean, and I agree, he should have been fired. Looking at our the offensive production. I mean, yeah, he should have been fired, but the expectations that we was going to come in and go 9-3 or 10-2 or whatever was kind of unrealistic, honestly.
Will, what do you think? What would you project next year's record to be?
I would say probably around 9-3, somewhere in there. It just depends on the situation. I don't think that we should go in there and replace all the offensive coordinators, like not just coordinators, but we're talking about DeMarco Murray, and Beatonbow, the whole offensive staff. We're starting all over again, and if we start all over again, you should expect a setback. To me, I mean, if you go in there and clean house, you should expect a setback.
Will. Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy. You got to say something.
Will, what was your record before the season for OU?
It was around 9-3 still yet.
So you have the same expectations I do, because Sooner fans should never lower expectations. Now, if there was an S between the O and the U, I could understand lowering expectations. This is Oklahoma, always going to have high expectations.
I root for all the Oklahoma teams, even OSU. But anyways, I'm an OU fan. I was born at OU Medical Center. So, I mean, hey, that's the way it's been my whole life. I mean, I'm 47. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a long time keeping up with them. But I thought Seth would do better than he did, honestly. And I understand he's an alumni guy, and they wanted to bring guys in that actually loved and supported our program, and so I understand that. But when you look at the statistics, the offensive statistics, man, it was horrible. We was last in the league, and like not just the league, it was the whole FBS.
Correct.
And so it was a horrible thing. I understand that. Venables, I think, is going to be an excellent coach. And I don't agree with the complete reset of the our offensive coordinators, all that. I think that's going to set us back if we bring a new coordinator in.
You're saying keep Joe John Finley?
No, I'm saying let's see what he does. Give him an open chance. I agree with Jeremy on that. You know what I mean? We have to give the guy a chance. Otherwise we're going to be dealing with a complete reset that's going to start us all over again. I mean, with new coordinators, new training of the language, everything, the whole thing, the playbooks, everything.
Yeah, and that's going to be the part of the off season. It's going to be important for them to figure things out. But hey, Will, thanks for the call, bud. What's that, Will? What was that?
I said, no problem. Hey, I love y'all guys. I think y'all's awesome.
Appreciate it, Will. Let's get a W tomorrow.
Yeah, I do think that expectations should always be high at the University of Oklahoma, or it wouldn't be the University of Oklahoma. Maybe Hunter can drop the weather. Fanstop asked about the weather tomorrow night.
Tatum's going to start, Aaron. Tatum will start.
Tatum will start, you'd have to think. And
I think the question is who's going to be the 2 and 3, like who's going to get other
probably
carries?
Franklin or Robinson. I don't see Hicks being that.
And I think it was Talon earlier that
could be Hicks.
I think it was Talon earlier that said these are games where the young guys that get the start. This is when they make a name for themselves. And he's right. He's right. There's been plenty of times. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's been times where guys have lost their job because they got injured, because somebody came in and did awesome. I mean, I'm not saying at OU, I'm just saying in general. So 50s, mid 50s, 8 to 9, that's great weather. Great weather.
Great.
I would agree with Sooner Ross.
No, you wouldn't.
What?
You do not agree with Sooner Ross because you ripped me when I said that. So stop.
Well, I don't think they should hire him.
You don't.
I don't think they should hire him, but what I'm saying is going to take some unridiculous amount of points for them to do that, Jeremy. What, you can sit there and smile all you want, Jeremy, to act like you're right. They haven't played Missouri, they haven't played Alabama, and they haven't played LSU. So just stop. We got one game against Maine that you're going off. One game against Maine.
Gavin Sawchuk is still out. Hey, what was Gavin Sawchuk listed on the injury report? Doubtful.
He's still questionable. And you got the 2 tackles still questionable. Bishop, no, not going to make it out there tomorrow.
I'm out of town. I'm actually in the Northeast, but I'll be flying back tomorrow about 4:00. So I'll be in time to watch the game, but will not be going to the game.
Wait, Lone Wolf says everyone's game to meal if you're not going to the game. Man, I love putting something on my Traeger, smoking something all day long. That's what I like doing. Some pulled pork or something.
Monty, I'm with you. I think Xavier Robinson is a guy that could see some time tomorrow. He can only play one more game if he wants to redshirt.
But this would be the game to play him because then you got a week off and Barnes will be healthy by Bama. So I think there's a really good chance you see quite a bit of Robinson tomorrow. I think there's a good chance of that. I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't either.
Wings, pizza and wings you can't go wrong with. Steak and baby potatoes smothered in butter, baby.
Hey, while we're at it, though, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Their shirt of the month is elite. You want to sign up for that. Also, that's a gift that you could really make someone's Christmas because they're going to get a new gift, a new shirt to their house every single month for a year. That would be a great gift. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE, get 10% off your first 3 months.
That's right. So anything else? I mean, tomorrow's a big day in college football in general because you got some elimination. Alabama LSU's an elimination game.
Correct.
You got Georgia Ole Miss, which it's the elimination game for Ole Miss if they lose. But let's see. Bishop says Hicks. Do you think Hicks tomorrow?
Jay, I don't know what DeMarco Murray's going to do.
I don't either. I have no clue. You know what?
Hey,
listen, I do not.
Timeout. We'll have to yell up in here. Ron, are there Ron, every single night, dude, I'm kind of tired of every single night you in the chat saying things. Call in. Explain yourself on why you think there's no tough players at OU. Call in and tell me.
Well, it looks like the Burks and Farouk, the ones that people said are sitting out, I guess they're tougher than people thought.
Guess so. I would love to see Megwa. You're not going to, but I'd love to see him. Oh, yeah, tonight.
Aaron, what speech are we saying to the team for motivation?
We're going to drop this tonight. Call in with your 30-second or less speech.
Oh, I'd love to hear some pep talks. 30-second or less, do it. Call in with it. I'd love to hear some good ones. I don't think you need to say a whole lot. I really don't. It's plain and simple. It's Missouri. And it's go out there in time to dominate and get to a bowl game. We got Platoon 20 on the line. What's up?
Hey, guys. I thought about the running back situation. Isn't DeMarco Murray's trend, this is what I see happen. I see Tatum having a pretty good game. Let's say he averages, 7 yards a carry, 6, something like that, which is pretty good. I mean, not elite, but pretty good. Well, from what I've seen at DeMarco, what he'll do is he'll put him in for 8, 10 carries maybe, and then he'll split 20 or 30 carries among other guys that are not averaging as much. Now, I understand that if Tatum fumbles or something like that, but I feel like DeMarco is so random on his assignments that he won't go with the hot hand. He'll kind of downplay Tatum and put in some other guys that won't do as good, and I just feel like it really limits our rushing attack.
It's a great point because perfect example is look at Javonte Barnes. When they've made him RB1 and he gets all the carries, look how much better he's looked.
Right, exactly. I mean? A lot of guys feast on that. Yeah, they do better when you give them some, routine, instead of just put him in for cold plays and take him out. I don't know why he's doing that. I don't think anybody knows why, but that's what I see happening tomorrow. I mean, I don't see him all of a sudden change things up unless maybe Joe John Finley is asserting his hand, and I don't know how much power he has over DeMarco or what's going on.
I wonder that too. You know what, though? The other thing is, I think if you look at DeMarco Murray's history at Oklahoma, he tends to, if you screw up in blocking or you fumble, he tends to, if you screw up, he kind of yanks you out there and you don't get a whole lot of run after that. And I think that sometimes leads to running. That leads to running back sometimes. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Sorry. I just said he's been patient with Tatum, though.
Yeah, he's been patient with Tatum. But what I'm saying is he limits the carries a lot of times if something, which is fine. But sometimes you got to play through that. I don't know. Jimmy says so. The RB1 will be Franklin. No, it's going to be Tatum, and then I think Franklin will be the 2. That's what I think.
Thanks for the call, Playton 20.
Yeah, appreciate the call. And I agree with this too. I like the hot hand thing. I think that's what I would do. But I also think if you got your number one guy, they need to be getting the majority of the carries. So
hey, Sam Franklin to me has shown a little bit of he showed some burst. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more Sam Franklin. Zayas, you're correct. Those are the 2 areas it's going to kill not having Barnes. Facts. I don't care who you put in there. I don't care who plays. Hicks, Robinson, Sawchuk, Franklin, Tatum. Yeah. None of them block as well as Barnes and have as good ball security. That's a fact.
And Franklin had a great catch out of the backfield last week, the one-handed catch on the swing pass. So, Jeremy, what's your prediction tomorrow, score-wise? You got one?
I haven't picked one, but I can.
I'm going to go one.
I think OU's going to. I'm going to pick OU. Something along the lines of 23-13.
I got 2013 Oklahoma. That's what I got. I got 2013. I think this game tomorrow night, as we sit here at, 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow night, if we sit here, it's 10 o'clock, and we get on here and OU loses to Midpoo with the backup quarterback, it's going to be a very nasty fan live. It's not going to be fun. And they absolutely need to win this game. Brady Cook's out. Your defense should be able to control the game. They should be able to against Missouri. Missouri has not looked that great offensively with Cook. So go out there and do what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
One concern I have. The comment was OU needs to run the ball 60% of the time. You do know that last week I said that I think OU probably won't throw over 30 times the rest of the year. The fact that they lost Barnes and now have Burks and Farouk back, I really hope they don't go out there and just air it out because their line cannot protect. I really hope they don't change
quick stuff.
Short stuff's fine, but do not change the game plan. Go with the game plan that you were planning on going with. Do not change this.
Hey, and I saw the question from Benjamin. Player of the game, it's a mystery. I'll tell you my player of the game right now, Taylor Tatum. I think Tatum. The way they've been running the ball, I think he's going to have a really good game.
I think it could be. I could also see him Burks or Farouk making a real long slant, turning the slant into a touchdown. But yeah, I'm with you, Jay. I think Tatum, I think whoever leads the team in carries tomorrow will probably be the player of the game.
Bobby says Sawchuk will get some run. He thinks that'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm not ready to say he will. Aaron talks about the secondary, concerned with the secondary. That is the weakness on this defense. You're right.
And they have good.
Here's the thing. Drew Pine. I am putting pressure all over Drew Pine. I am bringing pressure like crazy on him. So that's what I would do. I'd put a lot of pressure on him and make him beat you throwing the ball. I don't think he can do it.
8-3 have started, Jay.
I don't care. Is that Notre Dame? Where was that at? Was that at Notre Dame? He was 8-3.
I'm not sure, Jay, but Bobby says
Hunter, drop in where it was because I could care less. Drew Pine has transferred a couple times, and now he's at Missouri, and he's the backup. Okay.
Between Notre Dame and Arizona State. Hey, reader, I'm not ready to say Hicks yet because I never know what DeMarco's going to do. Who's the starting corners? If I'm the starting coach, Eli Bone is starting at one corner.
And he's guarding Burden a lot. That's what I would do.
And personally, on the other corner, I'm either going Des Malone or Jacoby Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Kenai Walker experiment, I think it's time to try somebody else there.
Des Malone, in my opinion, is one of the most physical ones they got.
Yeah, the only issue with Des Malone is if he has to cover down the field.
Yeah, he doesn't turn his head around.
I think he's a really good physical guy, and he's got some size. But Jenna agrees with you, Jeremy, Eli and Jacoby Johnson.
You think Vickers gets in?
And let me ask you this. Do you think Peyton Bowen can ever be a corner or not?
Doubtful.
Okay. I was just throwing it out
I don't
there.
and I say doubtful. He could, but I don't think they're going to move him there.
What about the freshman Devin Jordan?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, I think I think he's got a good future.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not playing tomorrow much.
No, I don't think so.
He might play. I mean,
hey, the Gentry Williams injury, I think a lot of people in the offseason thought it wouldn't be a big deal. Gosh, I think that injury hurts. That injury was a big, big deal for that defensive backfield. They're deep there. I just don't think Des Malone, Kenai Walker, they're not like, quote, I don't think they're shutdown guys. They're just not.
Well, Selene says, what are the top 3 goals for the game tomorrow? Winning cannot be one of the 3. Okay,
they got to fix the passing games, number one.
I'm going to tell you my 3.
Okay, go.
Top 3 goals. No turnovers. Okay. Run for 200 yards. And my other one would be, I'd probably say get more than 3 sacks. I think you do those 3 things, you probably win going away.
Well, I think defensively you got to shut them down. That's 1. 2, you got to get the passing game going a little bit. And I'm not saying a lot.
You give generic ones like I'm just going to say what you just said. Defense, we got to shut them down. Don't even know what that means. Secondly, we got to get some things going in the pass. What? I give specifics. You give vague generalities. It's annoying.
I can give specifics.
Let's hear them.
It's kind of ridiculous. I didn't know we were doing that.
You're trying to think of them.
No, I think Jackson Arnold needs to throw for over 200 yards.
Okay.
The other one would be the defense needs to hold Missouri under 200 yards passing. It hasn't been good in the passing game. I think they need to hold them to under 200 yards passing.
Okay.
And then the third one would be special teams. In my opinion, the return game on punts has to be better. It hasn't been very good. They have to get more consistent in the punt return game, I think. But and if you're not going to block for a punt return, if you're not going to block for the return, send them and try to get a punt block. I don't know. That's my thought.
Justin's in Columbia to watch his first ever OU football game. Culver's is a great place to eat, but if you want something local, go to G&D Pizzeria. A lot of people, college kind of campus loves that. But
what about Lambert's?
That's a ways away from Columbia.
Well, okay, if you're already there. I mean, if you're on the way. I saw cousin Shane went to Lambert's.
Did he really?
If you follow him on Twitter, he said he had 3 interceptions already on rolls. He said that they're going to have to raise the prices there because he's still eating.
I will say this about Columbia and University of Missouri. It's a cool little vibe at the stadium. It's a unique stadium, kind of sits down.
What does it hold?
There's a big hill. I'm not sure what it holds. You sit down in it as far as it kind of sinks down.
Is it loud?
It's got a good vibe. And, of course, the game I went there, they beat OU. They were ranked really highly. College game day was there. It was massively loud. Justin lives in the home of Lambert's.
Want to see Xavier Robinson punishment in Missouri. I would love to see it too. This going into the year, guys, this was one of the biggest games I was looking forward to going into the year. Just the Missouri matchup. What's that?
Missouri fans were as well.
Yeah. How about this? Okay, they hold 62,000. You're in the SEC. You got to get some renovations or bump it up, right? I mean, I don't know off the top of my head.
Can you sell more? That's the question.
I don't know off the top of my head. Hunter would have to look this up, but where do they rank as far as size stadium-wise? Vanderbilt?
My guess is 12th, 13th.
They got to be pretty low, don't they?
I would say 12.
Off the top of my head, you got Missouri and Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's lower than them.
That might be it, Jerm. Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's bigger.
There's Danny. Danny's back.
Oh, Danny boy, what's going on, bro?
Danny's back, dropping.
Well, actually, he's wrong. He said last night he said we're scoring 3. Tonight he says big fat 0.
Correct. That's what he says.
And Danny, Spencer Brown should not start. Period. End of story. Ever at Oklahoma. He shouldn't start. You can't start him, Germ. I'm going to be very disappointed in the offensive staff if he's starting.
I was close. I said 12 or 13. It's 13.
Oh, Kentucky. Okay, Kentucky.
Yeah. If you go to PFF, Spencer Brown graded better than EPL and.
I don't care about PFF. I could care less about PFF.
I don't care about it either, Jay.
Pitiful, forgetful facts. That's what PFF is. Pitiful, forgetful facts.
I got another thing. I got another acronym for it, but I'm not going to say it.
Why can't you say it? Is it bad?
Yeah, it's not appropriate.
Okay, we'll go with mine then. What's I going to? Oh, Sawchuk is still listed as questionable. Now, Bobby said he thinks he's playing, but he's still listed as questionable. So, it's raining here tonight too. So, it's been raining all day, or all evening, I guess I should say. Cold rain, man. Nice cold rain. Matt says OU secondary needs to step it up. They've been bad, especially down the field.
There's a way you can help the secondary, Jay. Pressure the quarterback more.
Hey, PJ got upgraded to probable. I did see that. So
yeah, he doesn't play much anyway.
I know. I'm just saying. PFF propaganda for free is what Mess says.
Fee, not free.
Oh, propaganda for fiend. Okay.
Fee.
Sooner Ross says it seems like Woody Washington gets beat a lot.
He can't play. He can't guard the flat.
I don't think he's been playing as much. I don't know what his snap count is.
He played a lot. He's still playing a lot. Too much.
Really? I don't know if he's been playing as much.
Yes, he has. In the zone.
Playing.
Guarding the flat.
They have turf. They have fake grass. Correct, Jerm?
It's been 7 or 8 years since I've been there. It used to be natural grass.
It's not anymore, I don't think.
I believe it's artificial turf now.
I may be wrong on that, though. Propaganda fiend. That's, yeah, anyway.
Fiend. Yeah. I agree. I want to see Xavier Robinson tomorrow.
Want to, but can you? Will you? Hopefully.
And I think Taylor Tatum balls out tomorrow. I agree.
I do too. I think it was Aaron dropped a hot take. 2 TDs, 100+ yards. I can get on board with that.
You would have to think Zach Alley's going to have a great scheme dialed up to get some pressure on this guy. What's Missouri's record?
They've lost 2 games. Is that right?
They're still playing for a playoff.
Have they even lost 2? I'm trying to think. They lost to A&M. Yeah. They got murdered by A&M.
And Bama.
They got murdered by Bama. Yeah.
I thought there was one more.
Is there one more? They beat Boston College. Yeah, that's all.
So they're 6-2. They're still playing for a playoff berth.
Yeah, OU has not figured out the zone yet. Hey, who would have thought, and maybe people would have thought this, but you remember last year, Jeremy, we did the video when Eli Bowen signed with Oklahoma, signing day. And remember talking about him saying, man, there's a chance he could play. I remember talking about it. But I don't think anybody thought he would be the best corner. He's the best corner right now. He is.
Not even close, Jay.
So who would have thought that? I mean, people thought he was going to play, but did anybody think he was going to be the best corner on the team?
No, I don't even think within the program, Jay. Monty, the game's at 6:45 p.m.
Yeah, that's right. 6:45 p.m.
Now, Matt, to say continuously gives up big plays, they've given up big plays, but I would say if you rank them in the SEC, I bet the number of explosive plays they've allowed in the passing game is not one of the worst, even close to it.
No, but they need to be better in that aspect.
They need to be better, but to say that, I mean, I would like to see kind of where it is from last year.
Let me ask you this in the chat, if you want to call in the chat or just put it in there. What do you think? Is there a chance? You know, last week, OU had the 90-yard pass to Hester for a touchdown. Yes or no, OU has a pass play in this game for a touchdown over 50 yards. Yes or no?
I'm actually going to say yes.
Really? You think Burks or Farouk? You think it's Burks or Farouk?
I think it could be Hester.
You think Hester's making some strides, huh?
No, I think he might get separation and get a deep ball against his former team.
Everyone says no in here except so far Dalpos. He said yes.
And I do think that if the running game is really good, it's going to open some things up. And I think it would be on a rollout maybe. It may be on some kind of short pass, Jay, for Rook or Burks that can break it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but it looks like the running back from Missouri, Noel, is going to play. I think he upgraded to probable. He's a good back. He's real good back. So they'll have to shut that down for sure. I think it's very important for OU tomorrow night to get out early and get a lead. Very important. Just for the confidence, you're coming off a game where you dominated. It's freaking Maine. I get it. But you have confidence. So to me, you're going to know a lot. Here's what I will say from Joe John Finley being the OC compared to Seth Luttrell. They look more prepared in the 2 games he's done. They also, if you go back and look at tape, the scheme at the first, like Ole Miss, he had a good game plan. I thought both games he's had good game plan. So I'll give him that.
They seem prepared.
It's all you can do. It's all you can do.
Although I will say against Maine, they didn't look great coming out of the tunnel on offense or defense.
Matt, here's my opinion of this. So on one hand, you could say, okay, he's a disappointment, you're saying. But he's also the same guy that went and got Eli Bowen, and he's playing as a freshman. True freshman, and he's playing on an island by himself. That's also coaching a little bit too. So I think you can look at it both ways, really. Now, if you want to say, I'm trying to think back. Let's think about Jay Valai in the transfer portal. Okay? You had the guy that, God, what was his name? Wore number 22 a couple years ago. He had the great interception on his back.
Started with the C.
Colden?
Yeah, Colden.
That was a good get out of the portal. I think CJ Colden. I think Kanai's he's been decent, but not great. I think Des Malone's been okay. I think there are guys that they missed on this year that went to other schools that they could have gotten that would have helped this team. But I do think he's pretty good at developing guys. I think that's just me.
Yeah. If you win the toss, you 100% of the time defer, always. I agree, Ross. Move the chains. Take what they give you. Don't force things.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of other coaches on that staff that need to be worried more about their job more than Jay Valai. I'll just say
that. What I said on this Too Much Thunder, I said if they went out, it'd be idiotic if BV didn't consider keeping Joe John Finley if they went out. You'd have to consider it. I know Jay disagrees with me.
Yeah, I do.
And a lot of people, Jay doesn't even think should be considered.
I don't. And you could consider him if you go try to get other people and people turn you down. Yes, but he cannot be one of your first.
That's the dumbest thing.
How's that dumb?
We'll consider you if other people turn us down.
He's not my first choice, Jerm. Do you know how it works? Do you know how it works when you hire people? Here's how it works, Jerm. If you didn't know, I'm not sure if you do or not, but if you didn't know, you have 2 or 3 people you're going after. If they say no, then you got to go get somebody else, Jerm. You can't just rule it out. But what I'm saying is he's not one of the top choices, in my opinion. So I don't know what point you're trying to make to fit your narrative here, but I don't get it.
There's no narrative. I'm saying, Jay, you don't make sense. You're telling me they're going to go try to get a guy with him still as the OC?
When the season's over, Jerm.
They're not going to hold on to him to see if they can get someone. They're going to either fire him and let him go, or they're not going to say, let's, Joe John, stay here. We're going to go see if we can find someone. That makes no sense.
Jeremy, they're already talking to people, okay? I'm sure.
Then they're not considering him, Jay.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Hey, did you see today? It sounds like Kurt Signetti at Indiana, they're going to throw the kitchen. They are going to do everything they can to keep him.
Well, absolutely they are, Jay.
They are already putting a big package together. So
he's the hottest commodity there is right now in college football.
Hey, and this is a question. Bishop says make him a co-offensive coordinator again. I don't think so, but they might.
Can't.
I don't think so either. Hey, let's talk about this for a second. Dow Post in the Discord has talked about this a few times, about the BV stuff and how the buyout, just such a big buyout, they won't make a move. You see the same thing with Napier. He's getting another. Do you think these large buyouts with NIL and the revenue and all that, there's going to be less kind of hurry to get rid of coaches because you're also paying other stuff, NIL, for instance, you're paying all that. Do you think it's going to make colleges keep guys longer or not? Do you think it's going to have any effect on it?
I don't think colleges even have power to keep guys, Jay. It's all dependent on the players and what they want to do.
What? Players depend on they pick the coaches?
I thought you were talking about guys out of the portal.
No, I'm talking about the coaches, the buyouts. Because of all the stuff you have to pay for in all that, do you think it's going to affect you if you keep coaches or not?
Well, yeah, what it should affect, Jay, is athletic directors need to stop putting buyout clauses in the contracts because they need money for NIL. Yes, you can't be putting that big of buyouts. The problem is now you have to do it because people have set the precedent.
And I think this happens all the time, Benjamin. It's almost like extend somebody because we're scared somebody's going to come get him, or he's going to go somewhere else. But a lot of times it's premature. You're right. But I also think it's how well do you think you got the guy? If you're the guy in charge and you think you got the guy to run your program, you're going to extend it because you want to keep him. So I think it just depends. But none of us are in the shoes of who picking who the coach is. So.
And Tyler, maybe even Josie looks back at that and says, we should have had a big buyout for Lincoln Riley.
And that's why they did it with BV. I don't know.
Could be, but all you're doing in the end is you're paying more money for things. And to me, it's a reward, but it's not an earned reward. And that's what I have a problem with. Like even BVs is definitely a reward. I mean, you pay that much money, it's a reward in your contract. But it wasn't an earned reward, in my opinion. What did he do to earn it? He had a great recruiting class, I guess.
Tyler said that's why they did it with BV. Hey, look at this. Too Much Thunder says he got to see Lincoln Riley lose in person last week. Sad to say it was a highlight of the season. This is interesting by Platoon 20. I like this comment. It says it's way better to offer double the salary instead of massive buyout. Offer $8 million per year with $5 million buyout is way better for OU than offering $5 million per year. That's interesting. Like, hey, we're going to give you $8 million a year. We're going to raise you instead of $4 million a year. We're going to raise you to $8 million for 2 years, and then you don't have the buy. I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it.
And that's how it needs to be communicated to the coaches as that too, because that's intriguing, that's enticing, but it also gives the athletic directors a chance to say, we don't like how you're doing things. See ya.
Did you see Matt Leinert's son committed to SMU?
I did not.
I don't know about him. I don't know if he's a really good player, but SMU's a pretty good school, and he committed there. I'm just like, it's kind of a jab in the face of Lincoln Riley, isn't it? Like he's not going to go to USC.
A lot of people don't like to follow in their parents' footsteps.
Well, put it differently, Jerm. If it was an OU legacy player, you'd be like, how did OU not land him?
Well, I don't know if they're going to land Caden Jones.
3-star with the big arm.
They didn't land Casey Thompson out originally.
You don't think they're going to land Caden? I do.
They didn't land Casey Thompson originally.
Correct. But he wasn't a highly, highly recruited guy either.
No.
No,
the NCAA does not dictate any of that. It's through the university.
Yeah, Danny says they didn't care about him. By the way, Lindell White, if you follow him on Twitter, he had a meltdown last week after the game. It was pretty funny to watch on Twitter. Just all his comments about Riley and USC. It was kind of interesting.
Hey, Jay, what's tomorrow look like here on the Sooner Surge?
Tomorrow, so we'll have a game time video, but we'll have post-game live right after the game. It'll be a late night, Jerm, as the game starts at 6:45.
Game will end around 10 or 10:30.
Game will end about 10, so we'll be live right afterwards for a live call-in show and to talk about it. And Danny, we'll be finding out tomorrow if you're calling in, because if they score more than 3, Danny will be calling in per last night. We'll
And
see.
if they score 3 or less, or if
I already
OU
got the razor ready. Well, I can't come shave it for. Who's going to shave it for you?
my son will do it on the live.
Really? If they don't score more than 3?
There's actually 2 things, Jay. If OU doesn't score more than 3, or if OU's defense allows more than 50 from Missouri's offense.
I'm the good cop, he says. Yeah, you're right. You did do 2 bets, didn't you? Hey, do you got a trivia tonight?
Yeah, I do. Number 84, fake punt against Missouri. Who was it? It's also the name of one of our viewers.
What was the question?
Fake punt, number 84. Who was it? Against Missouri. Fake field goal.
I know this.
It's the name of one of our callers.
Against Missouri, yeah.
That'll be a quick answer, but it's a good trivia.
It's a good trivia off the top of your head, Jeremy. I'll have to admit it.
I'm goated like that.
Goated. I don't know if anybody knows it, Jerm. I don't know if anybody knows this.
Oh, Jay, someone's going to know it. These are Sooner fans, faithfuls. Hey, guess what?
Boy.
Hey, Danny, Jay, I got to make a call real quick.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Coach B? Bill Beatenbow. Hey, I'm just curious. Danny, someone who calls in is just curious. He's saying there won't be a line tomorrow. What are we going to do offensively? Is it going to be 8 wide receiver set? I'm just curious on that. There's no O-line, so I'm curious. Get back to me when you can. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah, that'd be interesting with no O-line at all. Marcus got the answer right. Chris Chester, tight end, Oklahoma, had the fake. And that was to win the game. Do you remember that? It was late in the game, wasn't it?
Correct.
I think it was very late in the game. So.
We have a tight end playing O-line as a freshman. What?
Logan Howland. He's talking about Logan Howland.
He's played tackle all year.
And I agree, Spencer Brown ain't any good, Danny.
Hey, by the way, Logan Howland isn't a freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman, yes.
He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
not
that's a freshman.
No, it's
freshman.
Not. It's
Jeremy?
not, Jason. It is not.
Okay, answer this for me. What year is Logan Howland?
Redshirt freshman.
Freshman. You said it. Thanks. Appreciate it.
He's a redshirt freshman.
So you said freshman, correct? I mean, I'm trying to. I can't hear you very good. Say it again.
Redshirt freshman.
Freshman. Okay, got it. Freshman. Cool.
It's not the same thing, Jay.
Jerm, he hasn't played ball. He's a freshman. Okay.
Hey,
redshirt, or it doesn't matter about academically, Hunter. If you've never played a game, you're a freshman. I don't care about redshirt freshman. Care less about redshirt.
I do.
Why?
Hey, by the way, and Zios is right. Danny's calling us out saying we don't know our Sooners. Lane Johnson was a tight end and a quarterback. He was a tight end. He stepped on.
By the way, Zias is right because Bill Beatenbow, BV, think Logan Howland's going to play football for many years. They think he's that good at tackle. People have to realize when people are bashing some of these players at Oklahoma, like Ozida and like Howland, guys, they haven't played at all. This is their first time to play this year. Yes, they're 2 years in the system, but they're redshirt freshmen. They've never played, and now they're playing against SEC opponents, okay? There's going to be some learning curves. It's football. Hey, talk to me when they're juniors and seniors, guys. Come back to this. Juniors and seniors, see how they are. Because I think most people that are bashing them right now will be wrong.
Tyler said they've been robbed because if I was home, I'd be screaming. Here's what I got to tell you. A little teaser. I'll be back in my pod room tomorrow night, and I'll be letting it rip after that game tomorrow night.
Get the earplugs ready.
Destroys mid-poo.
Get the earplugs ready. Hey
appreciate everyone that's been on here tonight, though. Seriously, you guys are great. Join us every night. Join us all day tomorrow. We got the Game Time video in the morning. We'll have Thunder Live later tonight, right after this. And then tomorrow night, we have the post-game live, OU versus Missouri, 6:45 kick. Cannot wait.
That's right. Tomorrow night, play the pups. Play them. Play the young guys. Let's see what they got. Let's see it. Let's get a W tomorrow. Pound mid-poo in the ground. Go dominate Oklahoma. Appreciate you guys joining us. Have a good night.